Yeah, so one of the things that they can also consider is not just state or city, but also what the hotel or the country club can offer. Because even though it's low season, but if you guys have weddings, you will still have guests. Okay, it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be it has to be super hot, but those different services that your guests, I mean that your hotel can offer, can lead more to more guests, and of course more hours of working, and
That's true.
also lead to more income for you. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Rio from Rio Worldwide, bridging Filipino and American culture. In today's video, I am very excited to share with you because it will be very beneficial, especially if you're interested in front office or if you are eyeing, Florida as your preferred state. In today's video, Zeus will be joining with us today and had the pleasure to, have him join our YouTube channel and share his experiences with us. So without further ado, let's now start the video. So Zeus, for my first question, why did you choose front office?
Well, to be honest, I really didn't choose front office because during the time on my agency before when I started, um, they're only offering food and beverage.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, I told my agency, oh, I really wanted to be in the front office since during my OJT back in New York was already food and beverage. So I kind of, wanted a new experience. But then
Mm-hmm.
again, their offering was merely for food and beverage at that time. So I said, okay, let's do this. I just really wanted to go to the States and have my internship program. And so I had my um, interview with our former operations head in the resort. And so after interviewing, they sent me the offer letter. And then I was shocked because at the time, when I received it, I was really expecting it's for food and beverage. But then again, the offer letter says it's for front office. So I was really shocked, and at the same time, I was really, really happy.
Yeah, it's kind of
So
like you manifested it, because if you've been thinking about it, and if you've been, it's that's what you really wanted, but then at the same time they don't have the offer. Well, maybe I think you manifested it, don't you think?
yeah, I think so. I want to believe that. Yeah, maybe.
So speaking of front office, what did you learn during your 1 year internship?
Learning wise, there's so much. I mean, it's not just about the work. It's not just about the job or the industry that we are in. Mostly, I learned about life in general. I mean, it's we became independent in a way that we're no longer with our families because we're away from the Philippines, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of forced us to be on our own.
Yes.
And yes, that's the best thing about it because we were able to learn new experiences and at the same time learning new skills.
Mm-hmm.
In my everyday work in front office and in front desk, there's a lot of people that I encounter, like from different cities, different countries, nations. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And
So
also, you
you
were dealing with the VIPs, with the shareholders
right,
and the owner of the
yeah.
hotel.
So it kind of really taught me a lot of things in life in general because I believe it's not something about the job, it's something about how you deal with people. I mean, in terms of front office, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not about how you do, paperwork after the shift or everything. It's about the day to day basis, like, the experience that you give to your guests. That is the job, really.
Yes.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not the paperwork, it's not how you encode or input their names on the data and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the experience that you give to the guest.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then, how about culture-wise? Did you like the culture here in the US? Like when you went here, like how was it? Was it like, does it help you, or does it like scared you?
Well, scared, no, because I already had my OJT prior for my internship.
Mm-hmm.
So I had it way back before graduating college. So I already had a grasp of what's the culture in the
Mm-hmm.
States, and plus we have relatives also in the States. So it didn't scare me at all. The only thing that kind of, related to scare is that I was really nervous
Mm-hmm.
because it was a year compared
Yes.
to the OJT that was just what, three, four
3 months.
months?
Yeah, 3 to 4
Yeah.
months.
This one, it's a year. And it's a long time. At the time, I didn't know what's gonna happen.
Yes.
Like, how will I like it? How will I deal with the people that I will be working with? You know what I mean?
Yes, and this is also, one of the things that I always share with my students, that, always research what state or what city specifically you are going to, because you're not going to be there for 3 weeks, for a month or two. You're going to be
Right.
spending 1 year of your life in that certain place. And if you don't like that place, even though the company is good, but then, the surroundings or maybe the environment or maybe culture wise is not for you, then you will never enjoy your stay.
Exactly. That's really true.
So, what did you enjoy about the culture?
I really enjoyed having conversation and learning different things from them,
Mm-hmm.
because in our resort, it's not just, you know, again, giving them the experience itself, but also it's kind of also learning hand in hand
Mm-hmm.
from the guests. You learn from the guests, and they also learn from you, because you're both from different countries, you're both from different cultures. You kind of shared what's your culture, they share what's your culture.
Yes.
So it's a win-win situation for me. Like, I
Yes.
learn from them, and then they learn from me.
Yes.
That's what I really enjoyed about talking to the guest and learning from the culture.
Mm-hmm. And plus,
And
I
this,
would say our experience wise is might be different from others too, because our hotel
Mhm,
is more of like resort style. Unlike to like
mhm.
maybe other hotels that other J1s will go, is maybe more of like a country club, or maybe like
Yes,
a ski place, or maybe a business hotel. So each students will really have a different experience, as well. And also it depends what company it is. Hilton and Marriott is very two different culture, in terms of like working experience. And also it depends what city you are in or what state you're going to be in. It will always
r-
be different experience. And what I love most about ours is it's it doesn't really feel that you are working, unless when it's like really busy. That's the only time that you will feel working. But
that
when it's not busy, and then it's a resort style and everyone is just on vacation and wants to have fun, like, you really don't feel like you are working, especially when you are talking to the guests, because like I said, you learn from them, and they will always be curious about, oh, where are you from, what brought you here, and stuff like that. So it's really fun. I would say it's really
yeah, it is. And I mean, it's something that you learn from 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 the moment that you started working,
mm-hmm.
and then when you finish the internship, you're just gonna think like, okay, so am I leaving? That's how you enjoyed it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, it's
You
like
never
it's
want,
the 1 year ended already.
yeah, you never want to leave because you really enjoy it, and that's, I think, the best thing about having this internship programs, because it gives you so much confidence afterwards, because you learn so much.
Yes.
And we're talking about front office or front desk. In every day that I've dealt with the guest, from the guest who have tantrums, the guest who's very demanding and everything like that,
Yeah.
all the bad and all the negative traits that a guest could have, I'm still thankful. I'm really really thankful for it, because
Mm-hmm.
I've learned so much from those people, or from those hard guests.
Mm-hmm.
That is where I learned so much about my work.
Yes,
You know,
yes. Mm-hmm. That is
yeah.
also remember one of my, I will say, worst experience working as a server in
Mhm.
food and beverage department is, there's this one time, it was really busy at Seoul, and there's this guest that wanted his kid's burger, but his kid's burger is not yet ready because usually, the burger for kids are cooked well done. This is, I
Right.
didn't know about this. I just know that, kids burger is cooked, just the same temperature every time. But then his kid's burger is not yet done. And while I was going to deliver a burger, this is like an adult burger, to another table, then this girl stopped me and then tried to get the burger out of from my hand, and then she screamed at me and said that, like, my son is really hungry and we need the burger. And then, she shouted at me at that time and stuff like that. And of course there's a lot of people, and I was, it was a terrifying experience to be, just as like, being shouted at. So I'm like, oh my god, this is embarrassing. And then I called the manager, and then Miss Paulette, came in and then talked to the guests and stuff like that. And then at the end of the shift, as we talk about, and give feedback, or had a mini reflection about what happened, I'm just happy, or I'm not happy, but more of like thankful that it happened, because I didn't know that kids burger should be done well done, because they have a
Correct.
protocol that, if it is not cooked well done, the kids could have salmonella, and then, it can lead to a bigger problem. And I'm just thankful also that it was happened, even though it was a bad experience and terrifying experience for me, because I learned from it. Every I think almost most of our problems and the challenging that we experience, we always learn from it, and that's how we grow as a person.
That's
So next
true.
time that we encounter the same problem, or maybe the same person, we are
Yeah,
dealing with them, or it is not that scary anymore, because we know how to handle things better.
that's very, very true.
I love it.
I mean, we have hand in hand experiences about those like things, but the bottom line is we learn from it.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
for sure. So you mentioned that you have experienced food and beverage before in New York. So if we
Right.
will compare New York and Florida, which one do you like better?
I don't know. The moment I stepped into New York, way back on my OJT,
Mm-hmm.
it was just so magical enough that that moment that I stepped out of the airport and saw all of those buildings and everything, I said, okay, this is my city.
Yes.
And I don't know how to explain it. There's just really something like there's a spark to it. So yeah, state wise, place wise, I love New York,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also different experience that I had in Florida. I really
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed Florida. I'm going to share you something.
Mm-hmm.
In Florida, for me, I think it's the best place for interns.
Mm-hmm.
Because Florida doesn't have snow. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it don't snow in Florida. So in upstate places like New York and Wyoming, Colorado, and everything
Yeah.
up there, they experience the snow. Okay, it's a nice place. It's a nice experience to have snow. But then again, when you're intern in a place located in those areas, the company has sometimes, according to my friends,
Mm-hmm.
they cut you.
Mm-hmm.
Like they wouldn't let you work because there's no tourists. There's no guests coming into the establishment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I told you it's very important, or it's very nice to be in Florida for interns because they do not experience this kind of cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like you will not be stopped in your work unless there's a hurricane or unless there's like pandemic like what's happening right now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. And this is also what I'm glad that you brought it up, because now that,
Right.
I'm not, people will not gonna think that I'm biased about Florida. It is really like a good observation, because I was in Wisconsin before when I did my work and travel, and a lot of the times, especially during spring, it is not, people don't want to go out when it's cold season, especially if it's like a water
True.
park. Like, people don't want to swim during, cold. And So I realized that, okay, based from my experience, when it's cold, there's less, there's more slow season. So in my
Mhm.
mind, okay, what is my goal? If my goal is really to, maximize the salary that I can have during my 1 year internship, then I would love to be in a state where it's warm and there is more busy season. And that is,
Yeah, and it's all year round. It's not
all
just
year.
season by season. Right. Yeah, right,
Yes.
right.
Yes, correct. And then so that's why I realized when we went to Florida, really the slow season is only what during fall. Fall. I think fall season is the slow
And it's not
season.
even a low season because we still have like what 80% occupancy
Mm-hmm.
at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and there's weddings,
Yes. Yes, that's the
right?
thing. Yeah, so one of the things that they can also consider is not just state or city, but also what the hotel or the country club can offer. Because even though it's low season, but if you guys have weddings, you will still have guests. Okay, it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be, it has to be super hot, but those different services that your guests, I mean that your hotel can offer, can lead more to more guests, and of course more hours of working, and
That's true.
also lead to more income for you. So how about when you compare food and beverage and front office based on your experience, which one do you like better?
Well, definitely, I would have to say front office because I don't have to carry plates.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess front office because it it's a different experience. It's a different um kumbaga, it's a different genre.
Yeah.
If you're watching in a movie, it's a different taste of job or of work.
Mm-hmm.
In food and beverage, I do enjoy it also before in New York, just to compare. But being in front office is really different because you're the first person who would greet the guest,
Mm-hmm.
and there's impact to it. Like you're the
Yeah.
first one to give them that vacation experiences.
Setting
If
the
I
right
mean,
expectation.
right.
Yes.
And it just gives you that liberty to give them the best because you know that you're the first person to be seen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yes, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And I think that that's a good explanation and that's a good observation, because that is really true, especially like every time we check into a hotel, when the front desk is not that welcoming, it kind of gives you, like an off experience in the hotel,
Yes,
and
exactly.
then and it's like a ripple or a domino effect that it just keeps
True.
going bad and bad. But if you are someone that you know that you can go above and beyond and give the best experience in the hotel, I would also want to be, the first one to, for them to see, because I know that I can, I would say, like, give the the good expectation, and also give them a best service that they came for.
Yes. Front office always sets the tone.
Yes.
It always sets the mood for me.
Yes.
If you had a bad experience, it always starts with the first experience, and that is your entrance when
Mm-hmm.
you enter the hotel. So you always have to give the guests the best. Well, unless the guests are very, it still depends on the guest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you really enjoyed, your experience and stuff, would do you think you would recommend this J1 program to others?
Of course, definitely.
And would you do this J1 program again if you'll have an opportunity?
Oh yes. I mean, it's the most easy way. Let's be honest here, okay? It's the most easy way for those students who just graduated
Mm-hmm.
and for them there's nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best thing to do when you're unsure of what you're going to do next in life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I decided to do the internship program after graduating, I wasn't really sure about what's gonna happen next.
Mm-hmm.
And when the internship program was offered to me, I said, okay, I think I'm gonna go for this. Why? Because it's a clear vision of, a learning that you will get, and at the same time, you're going to experience a lot of things in a different place.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just really, really a nice experience. It's a learning experience that you will always, always, always treasure in your life when you experience it.
Yes, for sure, for sure. I love that because I think 1 year internship program, this is also one of the things that, I include when I do orientation is that it's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies, when you come
Yeah,
over
it's
here.
not.
Of course, it's still going to be challenging because, especially if you've never been out of your parents before, or if you grow up with a helper, or, if you are someone who just never experienced the American culture. Of course, everything that is new will be challenging. But what makes it memorable and what makes, the J1 interns makes wanted them to come back again and again or do this program all over again is the experience that you will have here. It opens your mind to different, opportunities and different just mindset, and also what do you call this, like the world, like how you perceive a world, because we grew up in a certain culture, and it made us, what we should believe in. But then you went to another country who has a different beliefs and different cultures, and how the society looked up to you, so having those two different culture, this is like so cheesy, but then this is why I always say my YouTube channel is bridging Filipino and American culture, because I wanted to bridge the gap of, each difference, and let you show you, the two different cultures, what you can experience, and for you to decide on your own which is best for you.
It's really the experience. It's an experience that you will always carry in your life forever. Like the learnings that we
Mm-hmm.
had during that internship program, it will always be forever in our lives. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
and plus the friendships that you make,
Yeah,
during the
I
internships.
I always keep on telling this to my friends that when you join something like this, like program,
Mm-hmm.
it's always the friendship that becomes a family.
Yes.
Because you've been living in a place where it's just you guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And because of that, you learn how to become family. And it eventually became a family for me. And I'm really,
Yes.
really grateful for that experience.
Mm-hmm. And also it widens your network. It's not
Yes,
just, oh,
true, yeah.
the only person that you know are the people who came, from the same school of you, or maybe your family, but now like the
To grow.
managers that you meet in your hotel, or the owners of the hotel, or maybe your guests, like for example, like me, I still stay in touch with the family that I met before in Playa, that, and they are Filipino. I mean, they're not real Filipinos, but their grandmother is Filipino, and until up until now we stay connected, and it really broadens your horizon and your network. So
That
it's really great.
it makes you grow. It makes you grow as a person. Really.
And if you are enjoying this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you'll always be notified whenever we upload new jump pack videos just like this. And also don't forget to subscribe and follow Zeus. Promote your channel. Where can they find you?
Oh my gosh, YouTube channel Zusified and on Instagram Zusified30. Catch me
Yes,
there.
yes, I will link it down below. Check the description box and you can follow him. And I am just so very thankful that you hop into my channel, because I know that this will be very beneficial for a lot of J1 interns who wants to do their internship, and also who wants to, want to do their internship in Florida, in New York, front office versus F&B, and you, showing up as authentic as you are and sharing the experiences that you've had here in the United States. I'm so thankful that you are here, and thank you for giving us your valuable time.
Anytime, Ree. You're very much welcome.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. I love you. See you next week.
Bye.